The following episode includes strong language, corpses, references to drugs and alcohol, and sexual humor.
Previously on Underground Records.
I am Dan. I will be playing Cameron Anderson, hero name being Timber. He has sonic powers, so he can use his voice to get aerial and kind of fly around.
I'm Rachel. I'll be playing Samantha Stanwyck, who is a private eye. She was unknowingly given a liver transplant from a post-human that gives her some super strength, but her body doesn't work that well with it.
So I'm Jay. As for my character, he is Kevin Calloway, but most people call him the Dirt Magus. He's actually a human that uses magic.
Hello, I am Bastion. I will be playing Silas, who is a siliconetic, developed powers very early, spent most of the past decade being a test subject.
Well, you got him here. Lay it on him.
Just kind of really scruffy looking character. Looks up finally. My teacher was killed. The closest thing I've ever had to a father. Somebody killed the most dangerous killer I have ever known. And they're telling me that some common street trash called the Axe Gang took him out. That's impossible. I need folks who can take care of themselves. If you do this for me, anything within my power, I will make sure you have it. Welcome to episode 1 of Underground Records, Axes of Evil. After you met at the TNT bar, Mose actually led you to a motel called the Blue Rose Inn that is at the very edge of an industrial area called the Underhaze. Real grubby area, the Underhaze. It's called that for a reason. Smog hanging kind of just above street level. Lots of weird smells and industrial fires. But the Blue Rose Inn it's a dump, not an unlivable dump. Mose meets up with y'all outside of the Blue Rose Inn the next morning. He leads you to a little dumpling and noodle cart called the Little Dragon.
So how'd y'all sleep?
Mattress is a little lumpy, but that's normal.
Gotta be honest, you're lucky to even get a mattress at the Blue Rose.
You had a mattress?
I slept on some guy named Stan. What, you got a mattress?
Silas just shrugs, because he 100% just kind of curled up in a ball in the corner and just zonked.
My room had an armchair that I just pulled up an ottoman to. I mean, it worked. I've slept in worse places, but...
Yeah, that sounds like the Blue Rose. At least the door is locked. Or at least the chairs are sturdy when you stuff them under the doorknob.
I did like the complimentary sacks.
The door locked, but I still propped it. No offense. I just don't trust much going on.
You're talking to someone who sleeps with a gun under his pillow.
Is he slurping up his noodles?
So here's the deal. Really, we need you to check in on 3 places and get us the lay of the land as to what the hell happened, because right now we've only got fragments. Well, the report on the street is that the Killer Bee got attacked by a group that we call the Axe Gang. They don't call themselves that, that's what we call them.
How mad will they be if I call them that?
Well, they're probably gonna try to kill you if they even lay eyes on you, so that point's moot.
Good to know.
What do they call themselves?
I don't know that they call themselves anything. I think they're just more concerned with being the biggest pricks down here. These are the guys that the real gangsters don't want. They're fucking monsters. They live down here, and don't get me wrong, we all struggle, but no, these folks will eat their neighbor. Literally, I think a few of them are fucking cannibals. So no, not exactly good Samaritans, but they're also bottom feeders. They did not take down the Killer Bee. I don't think that. Slugs doesn't think that. This was one of the greatest fucking swordsmen to ever live. Not these guys. There's a lot of bodies of Axe Gang that got left behind.
So we think someone's trying to use them as a patsy?
Maybe. We'd like to find that out. What I do know is this. The Bee's Nest, that has yet to be searched. That's over in an area we call the Loop. That's a ways away. You'll have to travel across the underground to get there. I can't lead you all the way, but I can point you in the right direction. You also. It's gonna be tough. but we need you to get a look at the bee's body. I don't know if any of you have medical knowledge, but just get in there, take a look, tell us what you see. The slugger would like that done before he sees some last rites for the bee. We're not asking for a full-blown autopsy here, just tell us what you see.
I don't have much medical knowledge, but I've been in the private investigating game long enough that I've seen some pretty gnarly things.
You know the difference between a knife and a gunshot wound?
Yeah.
Groovy, that'll fucking do. Out even further than the bee's nest, there's a place connected to Scrap Heap called the Fridge. It's basically a bunch of cold storage warehouses. And so far, all the Axe Gang bodies have been sent there. That's basically what we've got for a morgue down here. There'll be some folks keeping an eye on them, but no one's really gonna be touching them. You may have to deal with some folks trying to steal some shit off the bodies. Personally, from me, give them an ass kicking if you catch anyone doing that, because that's fucking low. Even off of the Axe Gang, that's low. And the last place I need you to check out, the bee didn't just die on the streets, he was actually headed somewhere, we think, when he died. He fell through the skylight of a club called the Bronze Toad. The slugger told me he's always suspected that the guy who owns that place and the bee, well, he thinks they've got history. But he was never able to get anything out of him, and the bee actually fell straight through the skylight there and onto the dance floor. The Axe Gang tried to raid the place, and security inside repelled them. They may be standoffish, so if you do go to the Bronze Toad, we could use that, but just be careful.
Not my favorite places.
And the Bronze Toad's in Neon Glow, so that's up to you how you proceed. I got other fish to fry right now, and I got a big brother to keep an eye on to make sure he doesn't do anything too fucking nuts. Recently cashed in on 3 birthdays, cause the slugger missed them all. We put up a calendar on the dartboard on New Year's, so I got to do that 3 times on 3 different pages. I got 3 birthdays this year. It's gonna be fucking dope.
What's your game plan? Where are you heading first?
I vote we look at the body first before it decomposes anymore.
I second that.
Silas would have just asked Mr. Magus, which one is the closest? Like, is there a way that we just go from one point to the other that makes the most sense?
The Dirt Magus would have world knowledge here. He's from the underground, he's lived his entire life here, and so he knows his way around quite well. The closest thing to you would actually be the Bronze Toad in Neon Glow. That's the next major chamber over. There's like basically big chambers that comprise this underground. You're at the Blue Rose Inn, which is the edge of the Underhaze, so Bronze Toad would be the closest. You'd have to trek significantly further to get to the Fridge and the Bee's Nest.
Regardless of the distance, it's probably best that we see to the body before anything else, even if it makes logical sense pathwise to go.
Yeah, we'll take a little bit of backtracking.
Mm-hmm.
The major thoroughfares throughout the underground is actually a district unto itself. It's called Subway City, and people live full-time in these subway tunnels and the various chambers connecting them. The underground is a nest of warrens. It's so tangled. There's the equivalent of back alleys, but it's hundreds of miles of interconnecting tunnels and service areas. Those are called the arteries. Subway City is actually also the main way you get around the city. You go through the various lines. So if y'all wanted to travel from the Blue Rose Inn over to the Fridge to examine the bodies, you could make your way over.
Are you going down green, and then, what is that, yellow?
Yeah. Green to purple or yellow. Yellow goes west and south, and purple goes north and west. And green connects to them both.
Let's get on the green line.
So as y'all boogie off, and you'll find it's not that hard to find your way to any particular line, because there are signs everywhere, and folks actually have either light bulbs with a splash of paint on them or something that indicates the path that goes to a particular line, and all along the walls of that line are new doors that have been made or smashed open, staircases. It's a city. When you step into the Green Line tunnel, there are hundreds of folks moving past you in any given direction. If any of you have ever thought that you are strange, nobody bats an eye at you down here. Maybe at Dan. Timber is dressed kind of weird.
Hell yeah.
Timber is dressed weird in that's a hero that should be above ground.
Yeah, but at the same time, your outfit may not turn that many heads because some of these folks look like they walked out of Gangs of New York. It's wearing just whatever. Fashion is what you make of it in the underground, because it's probably finding and making your own things anyways. But the Green Line, there is cooking food down there. There are folks who essentially have those cage walls set up with merchandise. So imagine your little shopping outlets, and it's everything from clothes to refurbished boots to you name it, DVDs. And you make your way through the Green Line. Nobody seems to really be too interested in giving you any shit, and in fact, some folks dart glances at the Dirt Magus and at Silas. You seem to have a maybe not a reputation, but you are recognized down here. Folks can smell the strangeness on you. As you cross through the Green Line at one point, it does elevate, so there's some stairs that you can follow up to at one point go kind of out of the tunnel, and while passing through this staircase, you would realize you get to see through a window that you've actually gone up in elevation gradually, and you can see out into the main chamber of the underground. What you would see is a huge, dark dome of a space, a large rectangular shaft that peeks out in sort of a dome.
So the underground's kind of like an amphitheater?
The central chamber of the underground is massive. The three main chambers are huge, but that central chamber is massive. You can get a very good sense of why it's called Neon Glow. It is lit up like 12 Las Vegases in there. There is a strip going down the center, and what are very obviously full-fledged casinos. And again, there are hundreds of people milling about down there. There's all kinds of activity, and you can just sort of see all of the chaos out there twinkling in the dark. And at the very heart of the chamber, stretching all the way up to the ceiling, and actually going right up and touching it seems, there is the skyscraper to end all skyscrapers. It doesn't look like, even in this, that something that big should be able to be there. It's got clouds. It's got its own weather system floating around it. And this is the Okadaplex. This is essentially a megastructure that within that complex, there are most of the major utilities, power, information access, this is at the absolute center. This huge, glowing blue and glass tower of steel.
Samantha looks up. How are there even clouds underground?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
It is absolutely possible in a confined space if it's big enough to have the proper atmospheric pressure.
Rachel figured out something like that. I just figured that would be... Yeah.
But it was something I had to do a little bit of homework on. I was like, is that possible? And then I found out that no, there are airplane hangars that are big enough to do that, where it'll rain inside. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's it? It doesn't take that... No, I guess it doesn't take that much. And these are huge buildings, but it's only a few 100 feet, and yeah, you can start to form clouds inside.
She's making a note to look that up later. Is that possible, or are they just being weird and making fake clouds?
Or yeah, is that just more pollution?
Who's to say it can't be both?
The way that I would see it is that somebody tried to do it, they failed, but in the process of failing to do it, they somehow spurred on a series of Rube Goldberg things that made it just naturally happen after that.
I love the idea that they're we're going to put all these clouds in here. Someone's build it big enough, don't need to do that.
You get this view of the neon glow. You've just gotten to see the heart of the underground. That is the fire at the belly of the furnace is that place. At some point, basically everybody in the underground, they kind of have to pass through there. As you move further along the Green Line, just a little further on, the green lights hanging on the ceiling and the smell of cooking food is replaced. There's two branching paths. There is a purple line and there is a yellow line. And either one of these can actually... You could do the bee's nest or the fridge.
So we should go to the fridge just so we can get to the body while it's still as fresh as it can be.
Y'all want to take the yellow or the purple line?
I think the yellow line is closest.
Well, they run parallel, and you could technically get to either location. Well, actually, no, you couldn't get to the bee's nest. You have to take the purple to get to the bee's nest. You could take either one to get to the fridge.
Okay, well, let's do yellow to the fridge and then purple to the bee's nest.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
The yellow line is a sharp contrast. For one thing, the green line actually had its tracks. They were ripped up. There were no train tracks through there. There was actually a more walkable footpath. It seemed to have been widened out. It was big enough for probably 8 people to walk shoulder to shoulder across, back and forth. The yellow line seems almost entirely dedicated to getting stuff to other parts of the underground. It is way more cleared out. There are cranes along the ceiling, hydraulic dolly cranes. There are workers milling back and forth. There's actually at some point somebody says, "Get the hell out of the way," and a bunch of guys come by pushing a hand cart along the tracks, and it's got a massive block of ice on it, and they're going the opposite direction of you, away from the fridge. You progress on further, and it gets colder and colder. The number of folks start to pick up, people sprinting off in all directions, loading and unloading things. You get to a pair of large sliding double doors. You have to take a sort of a side chamber to get there. But there is actual, cold vapor pouring out. You can see all kinds of just goods. There's a huge warehouse space, and there's all kinds of goods stacked up, and there's folks eyeballing you all suspiciously. You clearly aren't the kinds of workers that they would expect here. So you're
we are not in our winter gear.
Yeah.
I am a lanky, teenager. I do not look like I belong here.
I just, zip up the moto jacket. That's about as much as I could do to try and get a little warmer.
You guys would notice that Silas doesn't button up their trench coat at all. It seems like they are completely unfazed by the differences in temperature.
And it is chilly in here. You continue deeper into the fridge from that main warehouse space, which seems to be like a shipping and receiving type of area. There's just stuff always moving in one direction or another. It branches off. There are several other tunnels, and it seems that there's several places you could go, but one place seems to be taking in, frozen meat. There's way more than you might expect as far as movement of goods happening down here. This is a very industrialized city, and they're clearly using some jury-rigged type of solutions to things, but they clearly know their business. But as far as where you're meant to go to find a bunch of corpses, it is not evident.
Spatially wise, how big across is this area?
The main receiving area?
This fridge area.
The initial warehouse that you walked into through those big double doors, I would say call it 50 feet to the ceiling, and probably call it a couple 100 feet square.
Okay.
Lots of pallets of goods, and there's lots of shelves and stuff with things.
Just trying to get an idea, because I have sensory powers, so I'm trying to figure out how far I can necessarily see something.
Could I maybe roll investigation to see if I could, suss out where I think that would be?
Yeah, you could roll. Please, roll investigation.
So I rolled a 14, and... Oh, it is a 14, too. 28? I did math in my head. Be proud.
You scan the room with your professional, super honed senses, and you actually see somebody sitting in a chair by one of the doors. And he's wearing medical scrubs and a mask and gloves and everything. And he's got his mask down, and he's got one of his gloves off, and he's just smoking a cigarette and looking like he wants to be there less than anybody who is dragging pork carcasses around.
I bet that guy's doing autopsies.
Yeah, probably.
Is it known that we're coming to look at this body? Or, is that a thing?
Y'all have zero legitimate authority to do anything whatsoever. The slugger doesn't run things down here. He's just some guy who beats a lot of people up.
How about we just go up and talk to him?
Which of you is most intimidating? We need to get in there.
I mean, I don't think it would be me.
Go do some heavy metal vocals at him. Also, Samantha has a gun. Don't give me the...
You brought your own ice to the fridge.
Rachel's looking at the character sheet, and there's a 2 in intimidation. So I'm like, what?
It's still a gun!
I'm not intimidating unless I start actually breaking bones and shit, because...
I could just walk up and ask him normally and say, "Hey there, sir, you look like you know a way or two around a dead body. Can you point us to more?"
Oh, you're just gonna walk right up to him and ask?
Yeah, I'm gonna try asking first, and then we can go to intimidation.
I'm just gonna walk up to him.
So as you're walking up, he's inhaling, and he's got the Shelley Duvall ash hanging off the end.
Hell yeah.
And as he hears you speak, he just gives a long sigh and just blasts it all out of his nose. Excuse me? You want to what?
Well, there is a reason. It's not for weird things. We are here trying to figure out what happened to a pal of ours. I know we're not exactly going through the official channels, but I feel like it'd be a real boon here in the whole detective thing we got going on.
And he's just kind of looking at you and nodding.
Because I would assume I do have an actual private investigator's license from above, right?
You would have that. Yes, you would, actually.
And I bring that up just because he's being a little odd, and I was like, I do have one from topside, and I showed him the private investigator's license.
He eyeballs the investigator's license, and his eyes narrow, and he's like, uh-huh.
I put my arms around both these two. Hey, buddy. My friends are a bit, we'll say, tourists. We're doing an investigation here, and, some, we'll say, local celebs want us to take a look at this. A little bit on the hush-hush. You all right letting us in?
And he stares you dead in the eye, and he says, did you just use the term local celebs with me?
I did. Want me to roll a persuasion check?
Oh, you want to make a persuasion check? Go for it.
Ooh, 9 on the dice, so 17.
Could I help him with the persuasion check? 'Cause I feel like I was also trying to...
You can make an assist on that if you want.
Do you want me to roll, or do you want him to just take advantage?
Kevin, can make another roll if you get a better one.
I did.
Oh!
10 higher. So 27.
27! How do you persuade this man?
Look, we gotta get in there. We gotta do this for a friend. I don't step out of my house for anything less than something important. Look at this face. You know who I am. You know I don't really venture out. So this must be important. Do the right thing.
He looks at you for a long moment and he says, yeah, I know you. You're the weirdo with the plants. I know you're a decent sort. I am the only surgeon, the only qualified surgeon in this entire half of the underground. I am the only one doing autopsies, and I am 20 deep on 60 dead bodies right now. So I'm gonna ask you this once. What is it worth to you?
I've raised my hand.
And he points to you, he's like, what you got, sweetheart?
Is it hard to do surgery with broken hands? Because I point to the little one. He'll break them. And then I intimidate.
There's a little bit of a shocked look at this. I'm like, I was going to see if you needed help moving stuff around, but I guess if we're breaking hands, I guess I could do that too.
We can't waste time. We have shit to do.
This guy literally turns to Silas and he says, hey, kid, fuck you. And goes back to smoking.
Break his hands, break his hands, break his hands.
Sam rolls her eyes and go, oh, but we weren't supposed to go intimidating right away.
So I'm going to use my sand shaping thing to like pick him up and like lift him like 15 feet up in the air.
You lift him up, he's like, hey!
What the fuck?
Timber, please don't encourage violence as one of the initial... It's not very becoming.
I'm gonna start slowly turning him in the air. I'm just gonna using it. I'm gonna like slowly keep increasing the speed at which I'm spinning him.
We have a saying down here. It's don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
I only brought one outfit. Don't give him motion sickness.
The man is quite shaken at this point. Fine, put me down. Just put me down.
I put him down gently.
And then as soon as he's down, like I'm all smiles and I'm like, awesome. So like if you need anything, just ask us.
He glares at all of you. A 20 would have sufficed. Like, seriously.
Sam actually feels kind of bad right now, and it hands him a 50. Please don't tell anyone we were here.
He says, I'm not gonna be here. Fuck all of you. And he leaves. He's straight up.
Does he take my 50?
He rips that 50 away from him. He is ripping his smock off and throwing it. He is done. Congratulations, y'all. You have successfully pissed off a medical professional.
It's not my first time.
Great.
The door to the morgue section of the fridge is accessible.
If we were gonna do that, I could have just started with the gun.
Yeah.
We asked nicely first.
I was going to be nice, but then I was told I needed to break hands, so I was a little confused as what I was supposed to do.
I'm more mad at him and point at Timber than you.
Okay, cool.
We were nice, and then he was asking for more shit. We got a murder to solve.
Yeah, that's how things work down here.
He clearly was asking for a bribe.
I'm going to take his smock up and neatly fold it up and then put it on his chair that he was sitting on. And if he has any like bottles or anything else there, I'm going to eat the bottles.
Proceeding into the morgue, it's what it sounds like, except rather than having the proper like slidey table, cubby in the wall type of things going on, they've just got lots of really reinforced shelves and it's just really cold. There are old hospital gurneys around that have some other bodies on them. It seems the ones near the front, they're already in body bags. Further back, there are a number that are just set up in rows along the floor, and they are covered in what are basically bed sheets. And a lot of those bed sheets are no longer white. Beyond those, there is a lone hospital gurney under a hanging bulb. There is a black shroud sitting over whatever figure is lying there.
Does it look B-shaped?
It looks like a tall man, maybe.
Are there, say, clipboards with notes on them?
There is, in fact, a clipboard hanging off the end of the gurney.
Starts reading it.
So you pick up the clipboard, and it's got... Most of the information is actually filled in with what I can only describe as very frustrated question marks. Because name, question mark. Alias, the killer bee, B, etc. Like there's a few of those. Age, 60s, question mark. There's his height, he's a little over 6'2". His weight, he's only about 170 pounds. He's very, very thin. There is on the next page what is essentially an outline of a person, and it indicates that there are a number of wounds on his body. There are at least 2 gunshot wounds, and there are at least 3 major lacerations. But it doesn't appear that the guy that Hugh chased off got to finish his examination. His paperwork is almost totally blank.
Okay, interesting.
While the Magus is doing this, I'm going to pull off the sheet.
You pull back the shroud, and the mortal remains of the killer bee are revealed. There's just a pair of like boxer shorts that they put on him where he was wearing. He got really, really badly injured that last night. You can tell that immediately.
I mean, he did die, so.
He did die, but like he took a hell of a beating and a lot of very vicious wounds before he went down. And so I will actually leave it to y'all how you want to go about examining his body and gathering information.
I do have an idea, if nobody else has one.
My main thing is I would like to roll investigation and use those private eye skills to see if I can find anything. What does Silas think?
I was going to just take sand and do a 3D mold, blow out all of the different wounds and stuff. So put a bunch of sand in, move it out so we could see how deep the wounds are, what they are, etc.
Like a sand plaster cast?
Basically, yeah.
Can I roll investigation first and then we do that? That way, if that messes up any of the...
I was going to wait until somebody else did that.
I've got both investigation and treatment. Can I aid another?
Yeah, I believe you can do that.
Roll the 16, and then it's 14. Is that 30?
That's 30. With a 30, you get quite a bit of information about the bee just by looking at him. He was a tall, lean black man in his late 50s or early 60s. He was in really good shape for his age, though. This is a man with not really an extra pound on him. He's not like a shredded Bruce Lee type, but he's in very good shape for his age, aside from, being dead. Body is covered in scars of all variety. Some have been covered up by tattoos, but you can still tell, no, that's a burn mark there along his back, or somebody really hacked at him with something. But he's had a lot of healed injuries over his lifetime. His eyes, actually, he was blind, but it doesn't appear that he was born that way, because his eyes are in the area around them are covered in scar tissue. He actually doesn't have intact irises. It's just kind of his eyes are just kind of two cloudy things just sort of sitting there.
I take my phone out and I start taking pictures.
Based on your knowledge of criminology, your experience with firearms, you're able to determine there were 2 rounds, 2 gunshot wounds to his body.
Okay.
He's got what appears to be like a deep gash in his thigh from somebody maybe hitting him with a machete or an axe. He's got these 3 big cuts. He's got 1 across his chest and 2 across his back, these deep slicing cuts. But he's got these 2 gunshot wounds.
I'm going to assume no on this. Can I tell if any of the wounds were done after he died?
Different wounds can be told if they're pre or post mortem. Somebody with a criminal investigation background should be able to tell that.
You are actually able to determine, just based on you've seen murders before, you are actually able to tell, A, all of these wounds were before he died. It doesn't seem that anybody fouled up his body after.
A lot of fucking blood, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he was shot with 2 different handguns, you're able to determine. One was a 44 Magnum, which is not impossible to come by in the underground. But the other's a 10 millimeter. And 10 millimeter is not common. That's like law enforcement. It's not a common round to just find floating around out there. And then the big slicing cuts, you would swear those came from a Japanese sword. It looks like a big slicing sword was taken to him.
So then, so these are 2 different guns shot him.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I'm even going to say, you were able to go nearby, and actually the 2 bullets have been pulled out, and they're in one of those little autopsy trays. And one of them is a 44 Magnum. It's a hollow point round that seems to have, like, bird shot inside of it. This is a really nasty bullet he was hit with. If maybe one of these other wounds killed him beforehand, that 44 Magnum went straight through his heart. If anything killed him, it would have been that.
That was the final blow.
Yeah.
I remember in the beginning when you were like, are you able to distinguish between gunshot wounds and like knife/stab wounds? And plot twist, you got both.
Silas, did you still want to pursue creating molds of the wounds or using your abilities in a certain way?
Yes. I was going to basically get exact measurements of all of it and then like recreate that same shape outside of the body and like fuse it into glass. So just like neatly set it on the table next to it of all the different wounds. And then like I'll probably take the little paper from the Dirt Magus and I'll start neatly writing down the exact dimensions to like a couple millimeters of all the different wounds on the paperwork.
Oh, you're just filling out this guy's paperwork for him?
Yeah. It's like I have the intuitive sense of it, so I know like the exact depth of these things and whatnot. And I'm like leaving basically the little like glass sculptures of the negative images of the wounds on the little cart.
In doing this, I can't imagine what the actual physics involved of this would be, but as you're carrying out your process, your intuitive sense of the silica that you're interacting with, you actually find some more of the little pellets of bird shot that are still in his body. The hollow point, the 44 Magnum, was a really nasty round.
I would probably extract them and put them in a separate little kidney basin.
Yeah, and there's also bits of shattered lead that you're pulling out of there from the bullet itself. Somebody, like, really wanted this guy dead.
Hey out there, welcome to Underground Records. We've been hard at work on this one for a little bit, and I'm happy to finally get it out into the wild. If you haven't already, you can consider supporting us on Ko-fi. You can do a one-time donation, or you can become a monthly supporter, and that gets you different rewards at different levels, including things like subscriber-only live streams. That's ko-fi.com/mayhemcast. You can also consider giving us a review on Apple Podcasts, or whatever option the app you're using offers. Gets the word out there and tells us what you love about what we're doing. Also this month, you can catch up on our House Van Helsing stream series over on YouTube. We'll be returning to that one at the end of the month to resolve a few cliffhangers. That's at youtube.com/@mayhemcast. But for now, let's get back to the game.
Anybody else have anything else that they want to do? There are also the Axe Gang bodies, as a reminder. They are all in rows around you.
Were any of the wounds actually caused by axes?
Oh, that's a very good question.
There's a wound on his leg that looks like it might have been caused by a hacking weapon such as an axe or machete, but it's just kind of a big split open wound.
So it's like the actual Axe Gang proper didn't really do anything.
This seems like a group effort to me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start looking at the Axe Gang bodies. Should I roll another investigation for that?
Yeah.
Miss Sam, is there anything I can do to help?
Should we all roll investigation? See if we notice anything a little hinky?
Ooh, team effort.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if I want to use a hero point to reroll. I rolled a 3.
So, Dirt Magus, what'd you get on your investigation, sir?
17.
Samantha, what'd you get on your investigation?
17 altogether.
Silas!
11.
Timber, what'd you get?
18.
So together you are actually, it's not as efficient or thorough of an examination as you did on the Killer Bee, but it doesn't necessarily need to be, with this group effort. You all kind of, as you move between the bodies, You realize that there's 3 things that the bodies all have in common of the Axe Gang. They are generally very filthy and disheveled, showing all manner of ailments, drug usage, and violence. These are folks who lived rough and didn't take very good care of themselves, and very clearly were doing things to themselves and others. Second, every single one of these dead bodies is missing at least one limb. Like, maybe the limb is there with them, but they are missing a lot of arms and legs. There are guys missing their heads. It's actually very similar wounds to what you found on his own body. There are almost 60 dead X-Gang members.
God damn.
Yeah, but the third thing, they're exclusively men. There are no women among these bodies. These are exclusively male gangsters.
What would Killer Bee's power set again?
He was like a master swordsmith, right?
Beyond world-class martial artist. The Slugger, I think, he may not have actually gotten around to describing it, but the Bee had some degree of training and conditioning that more or less put him in the category of superhuman. There is one other thing. It doesn't look like anybody grabbed their whatever weapons they had and brought it with, so they're just lying under sheets. But the Bee actually has a stack of his possessions on a table in the corner. That actually would have been something at the back. But yeah, the Bee clearly was capable of handling more than a few Axe Gang members.
5 dozen.
He did not go out without a fight.
On to the possessions.
While they are looking at these Axe Gang guys, I want to start poking around in Bee's left behinds.
I think I'm also going to go over to where Timber is and start looking at that stuff as well.
Give me an investigation check.
Hopefully I roll better this time. Oh, I rolled a 14 again. So that's
28.
28.
16 altogether.
Working together, Timber is, you go kind of through the clothes that he was wearing, which are in not absolute tatters, but they are sliced open. They're damaged, but his clothes were very plain. If you know what a changshan is, it's like specifically it's a Chinese style, like the long tunic. Sometimes they're short, but if you've ever seen the film Ip Man or you've seen some classic kung fu films, it's just sort of the long robe. It's a classic piece of Chinese daywear. He had one of those, and it was dusty and threadbare and black. He had some sort of white underclothes, and they seemed to have just been sort of a simple white cotton shirt and some long pants. And he had some shoes that were more or less canvas slippers. He does not seem to have had any valuables on him. The only other 2 things that are there, which Samantha is going through, he has a wooden cane, and there's a pair of now unfortunately shattered glasses, a pair of black aviators which are shattered. But with your high degree of investigation, you were like, the balance on this cane is kind of off, and as you sort of feel at it, you realize that there is a hidden blade about 2 feet long.
I pull it out a little and I go, well, that's cool.
It's lightweight at one end and it tapers off.
When Sam pulled out the blade, was the blade clean or was it crusted in blood?
The blade is actually clean.
I look around, I was like, did he have another? I mean, clearly he had a sword at some point. I assume he's the one who hacked off the limbs, right?
Given that he has slashing wounds on himself, maybe somebody took the sword and cut him up with it and then took it?
Or maybe he didn't even kill these guys and somebody else killed all these guys and threw their bodies around him to make it look like there was a big fight.
That's a possibility.
Or these guys died first, the sword was cleaned, put away, and then death happened.
Can I look at the sword and be like, are there any, like, marks on it? Not scuffs, but, like, indentations from, like, fighting.
It's very clearly a sword that has seen use, but it's one that it's like, no, this has seen cumulative use over time. Do you want to roll me an investigation real quick?
Ooh, I rolled a 17. 31.
Would you have any forensic type of tech on you? Like luminol, a black light?
I would say black light would make sense.
You kind of go through the coroner's stuff, and you find you find the stuff to make luminol, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you conduct a test on this blade. There is blood residue all over this sword.
So someone cleaned it.
Somebody wiped this sword down, but they didn't, like, clean it with chemicals.
I also take a bottle and just, I'm like, in case we need it later, and take some of the luminol with me.
I literally make a bottle for you.
Oh, thank you. I know Mosey said the slugger wanted to do last rite. Did he want us to take anything for that?
No, the slugger is actually going to, he will be coming by at a later point to conduct last rites, but he wanted folks to get a look at the body before he does that. And actually, you actually hear his voice. What's this I hear about the kid suplexing someone?
That didn't happen.
Nobody suplexed anybody.
It's complicated.
He levitated somebody.
Timber told me to.
He's shaking his head, but he looks like he's trying not to smile. He's like, look, the guy's name is Jimmy the Ghoul. He lost his medical license topside because he was fixing coroner's reports for the mob. He is also, he might have mentioned, one of the only surgeons we got down here, and he does a lot of work for free. I would have preferred you'd not pissed him off, but he is kind of an ass.
Does it help that I gave him a 50 after to try and smooth things over?
The 50 will help him get over it. Also, I admit the guy's kind of an asshole.
I didn't slam him down. I could have dropped him. In the innocent tone of like a kid who doesn't 100% understand that he did anything wrong.
Yeah. You know what, since we're on the phone with the slugger, do you want us to grab any of this stuff for you?
He says, no, leave things as they are. I'm going to prepare him for where he wanted to be laid to rest. There's a spot, but I'm going to need some time with the body. I'm going to do the stitching myself.
It's just, Kane's here. That seems important to him.
That'll be coming with me. He seems kind of lost in thought for a second, and then he looks up. That reminds me. And he fishes into the pocket of the horrible overcoat that he's wearing. And he's kind of rummaging around for a while. It seems like his arm goes down into the lining. Like there's definitely like more pocket than it appears. And he pulls out a pair of keys. This will get you into the tunnel that leads to the bee's nest. This will get you through the front door. Make sure those make it back to me.
Will do. Much better not to have to bribe anyone or intimidate them after saying we shouldn't do that. As I glare at, Timber.
We were nice.
There's probably only a few people who actually know where the bee's nest is. Mose will, he'll meet up with you. The slugger turns his attention and he actually, walks over to the bee and he sort of stands over him. One of Bee's arms is actually hanging off the table and he takes them and he crosses them on his chest. While he's standing over him, some of y'all might have met him before, but it's, even Kevin, the Dirt Magus, would have rarely ever seen him take the mask off. And he does take off the ratty half of a red balaclava, sort of pulls it off of his head. And underneath there is a sort of a leather skull cap with like a metal plate that he pulls off. It's almost like an improvised rugby scrum helmet. He has got a different kind of face, because down one side he appears to be a pretty average-looking Hispanic man in his 30s. His features are almost totally normal. He's got a scruffy sort of matted beard. He's got some scars on his face and whatnot, and he's got dark brown eyes. But the left side of his face, it's like the skin around that part of his head is toughened and shrunken down to where it's right up against the bone, and it just looks like tough leather. And so there's this very sunken, hollow appearance to his left eye. And his left eye actually doesn't seem to have an eyelid. It's just sort of sitting in there. Oh, he has goggles that he takes off, by the way. He has this, just this big, round, green eye. It's got the iris and the pupil are almost twice the size of a normal eye, and it doesn't seem to blink. And, he actually has tattooed around his forehead a line, almost like the dotted line that you see in the movies with, autopsies. Instead of a left eyebrow, he has a little tattoo that says, remove for scientific study.
Oh.
Kind of bows his head and just starts in on his work, and he doesn't really acknowledge any of you beyond that.
Well, we should probably head out.
He seems somebody that I don't want to fuck with.
Oh, and he's got a little bit of hair up top. He's just kind of got, it's not even a mohawk, it's just kind of like he's got a bunch of black hair just kind of on the top of his head. Sort of a Boris Karloff thing.
We'll leave you to it.
Without looking up, he nods. The path is yours again, players. You have gathered information from the fridge, and you have obtained some very valuable information on what went down the night of the killer bee's death. The choice is yours. Where do y'all want to go next? Do you want to go to the Bee's Nest, or do you want to visit the Bronze Toad out in Neon Glow?
I feel like Bee's Nest makes more sense, and it's also closer.
Agreed.
I'm down.
All right, y'all moving out?
As we're walking there, I go, bees have hives, not nests, right?
I've heard it both ways.
I mean, yeah, I've heard both.
I mean, well, kicking the hornet's nest is a phrase.
That's true.
You get initially a shrug from Silas, and then his eyes kind of glaze over, and in almost like a different tone of voice, you basically hear like recited the Wikipedia article for bees. I'm like starting parsing from bees, like just starting reading from the top down until one of those answers comes up, and then I would kind of like zone back in.
Okay, so if y'all are moving out to the Bee's Nest, you would be popping back out into the yellow line, dodging the industrial type stuff, and you would probably go either cut through the purple to the green, or you would just take the purple on up. Moving through the purple line, that one seems to have a lot of movement of like barrels and bags of stuff on carts, and it appears to be garbage going one way, old furniture, filing cabinets, any kind of scrap metal or rubber materials, stuff like that. Chunks of concrete appear to be going in the other direction. There's all kinds of folks milling about. Nothing really goes to waste in the underground. But the purple line also smells really, really bad. It is not pleasant smelling.
Pulls out some deodorant,
Can I borrow some of that?
It's just like, yeah, rub it under your nose.
hands it over.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I make little like glass nose plugs for y'all.
Just before you enter the area called the Loop, you get to a corner where the blue and purple lines meet. That light is overlapping, and there seems to be, almost like at this bend, there's an opening that overlooks a large, like, multi-level complex. It's part of the second chamber, and you can see folks on different levels milling about, and these different levels have different lights. This is the interchange. This is the loop where all of the tunnels meet. So you can actually see from this sort of vantage point looking in, all of these different tunnels leading to and from this area. And there are like houses made out of shipping containers stacked up in the middle. From the sound of things, there are people living above you as well. At that corner where you can see all of that, there are just stacks and stacks and stacks of old CRT televisions, either looping some image full of static, or they've got that, you know, the test screen that's got all the colors. And just a couple of them are actually hooked up to like VCRs and have movies playing. But it's just this maze of TVs that you have to go through to actually walk through this corner. Whether it's an art installation or what, nobody could tell you. But yeah, you are in the Loop. This is the heart of Subway City. It is one of the main thoroughfares of the underground. Somewhere in this place is the Bee's Nest. As you're getting to that area, Samantha, I think Mosey's going to call your phone.
Hey kid, what's up?
Hey, y'all make it to the Loop yet?
I think so. Weird stack of TVs?
Yeah, that's the purple-blue interchange. Okay, so basically all you want to do is find your way down to the red line level. That's going to be 2 levels down from you. In the red line level, you're looking for a locked door. It's just a plain steel door. All that's there is a lock, not even a fucking handle. The key that Slugger gave you will get right into the tunnel, and you'll find the front door from there.
There's still a lot of people around us, right?
Yeah, in the Loop, there's folks passing you every which way.
So I don't put it on speaker, because this seems like information maybe we don't want a bunch of people to know.
But you relay the information to your team?
Mm-hmm.
And as you are all standing around pondering, a kid comes running up to you. But the eyes they look up at you with, they are like rainbow glittering insect eyes. And the child says, "Nana says you're on the path, and you'll wander but never stray." And the child holds up a 6-fingered hand and says, "Nana also said you'd give me $1 so I can get noodles."
I love them.
I don't really have $1, but I have some strawberries.
And the kid holds out the other hand, which has 7 fingers on it, and accepts the strawberries and is just, and tucks them into a pocket of their grubby coat.
You know what? No, I find a $5. You've earned it.
I have some Tic Tacs?
What's a Tic Tac?
And I go, here, and I give him like 2.
He looks at them very suspiciously. Their eyes actually shimmer a different color for a second, and they hand them back and say, "No, thank you."
I take one and put it in my mouth, too, to show, like, they're safe.
I know what drugs are, lady. You can't fool me.
Oh, no, they make your breath smell better.
The kid cannot squint. Their eyes turn a very suspicious green.
No, your breath smells fine, but that's what they're for.
They do accept the $5 from you, Tamber.
I grab my bag a little more, and I go, here. I find, Skittles, and I go, this is just candy.
The kid's eyes light up. Thanks, folks, you're really cool. Nana says to meet her when you see the lamp.
Do I have the ability to text Mosey?
Yeah.
A weird kid with a lot of eyes came up and kept talking about Nana. Is that like a thing down here? Should I know what that is?
Lot of eyes, question mark.
Kind of, like a bug.
Oh, that's little Sid. He's one of Nana's kids. Nana's cool as Spock.
He said Nana wants to meet us after we find the lamp? So, like, if we meet Nana, it'll be good.
Have Kevin tell ya. He knows what's up.
The kid stuffs these things in their pockets and bounded off. And nearby, sort of leaning against a wall, there's a woman who, with her left hand, she's cooling herself off with a fan. With her right hand, she is holding a can of beer, and with her other right hand, she is smoking a cigarette. And she slowly looks over at you and she says, "Bless you, poor fools. $1 will get noodles for 10 kids. You just fed all them little bastards for a week. Bless you all." Nana does what she can, but she can't feed them all.
I know all too well.
There are worse things that our money can go to.
She nods and she takes a puff of her cigarette and a swig of her beer. Amen.
This is a question for Mr. Magus. Because I've been living with you for about 3 months now.
Mr. Magus.
That's how Silas refers to him, as Mr. Magus. Is there like a market or anything? Because I know that you do like stuff with vegetables. Like,
I donate extras to Nana and her, like, children, as it were. And I keep some for myself for food, and I kind of use them as bribes in payment, because I don't have money.
it was more of just like the Silas's brain is turning about like has skills that probably could be monetized. And it's like, oh, well, if that's cheap to get food, like basically Silas is doing the teenage, hey, maybe I can get like a part-time job and like have some pocket money kind of thing.
Are y'all heading for the red line level?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way down into the lower parts of the loop. Every few feet, there's a tunnel or a doorway or something that head off to other common areas. There are some places where tile has been smashed out and folks have built mine-style tunnels straight through the dirt. And there seems to be activity beyond. But eventually, when you get to the red line level, it gets kind of more sparse. You can hear industrial sounds off in the distance. Occasionally, you will see one or two shadowy figures walking back and forth. You come to a black door, like what was described, where there is just a standard lock in the door, and there is no handle, no nothing. Even the hinges of this door are covered by a surrounding steel.
So someone painted the red door black.
Are you able to manipulate the door then? Like, would Silas be able to?
No, what is wrong with you?
We have keys.
I forgot about the key.
Sam is opening the door and looks at all of them. I am not the responsible one here. That is not my role.
You're the one with the keys.
What do folks have going on senses-wise?
I can see or hear from any silica object within 250 feet of me. Theoretically, I should be able to see from all the light bulbs or shit inside this house.
As y'all are standing around having this discussion outside of the door, out of the dim red light and the shadows of these tunnels come strolling up 6 men who look a hell of a lot like some corpses that you were just looking at, except these guys have all of their limbs, and they look really pissed off, and they are carrying axes and machetes. Roll initiative!
Ha ha ha, time to fuck bitches up. Oh, okay, my initiative. Probably not great. That is an 8. So, I have a high initiative modifier, but still only a 16.
As far as rolling badly, not great. Initiative's fine.
I've got 12.
Rolled an 8, so it's a 10 overall.
21, because I rolled a nat 20.
Top of the round, as these ex-gangsters surround you all in the dim red light, the Dirt Magus, you have the quickest reaction time. What's your opening gambit, my friend?
You can go now. That's it. I just tell them they can go now.
The only response from any of them is that one of them spits on the ground.
Ballsy.
Timber.
You said there are 6 of them?
There's 6 of them. They've come at you from either ends of the tunnel.
Of the 6 guys, are there any that look like leading the charge or look bigger?
No, none of them seems to be particularly outstanding. They actually, to be honest, these guys probably use a good meal and a bath, all of them. They're not substantial, slabs of muscle. They are some dirty guys armed with weapons who mean you ill intention.
So then in that case, I'll just take the group that's coming up from behind us then. I'll do my sonic attack because that one specifically does have multi-attack listed. So let's go for 3. That way I'll take a -3. That's fine. So -3, so it'll be 11. And then the second one, nat 20, baby. So it was 11, and then the nat 20, and then the last one is, oh, that one's not great. That one's a 9.
The first one, second one, the nat 20 and the 11 will actually succeed. So 2 of them have had their eardrums blown out, and they've dropped to their knees, and they're screaming. The third guy just kind of he cringes back, but he seems to shake it off weirdly quick. It's almost like it's not affecting him as much. He might be a little deaf.
That's weird.
They're not necessarily totally incapacitated, but you dinged them boys bad. That spurs on 2 guys in the other group to spring forward. One of them is going to make an axe attack, swinging wildly towards Silas, and the other one is going to spring at Samantha. One is going to be... the one that attacks you, nat 1, Samantha.
I should imagine she, sidesteps. And just, nope.
That's a 2. Yeah, both of them miss. We're just gonna say both of them miss. There's no way. So, Samantha, you sidestep. Silas, do you have a different strategy for how you would counter an axe blow coming at you?
I literally just move my body around.
Oh, nice. It just kind of flows through you. These are not trained fighters. They barely seem to be fighters. These guys are in rough shape. And they're scared of you. That's actually a thing that would come across as they're coming in. These guys are tensed up and they're hesitating and they're just kind of swinging wild. Silas, what you doing, baby?
I have a perception ranged attack, so that means it's just my DC of 23 versus their defense, right?
DC of 23 versus their defense?
Silica mover. So it's a move object attack.
What kind of badass moves you pulling with that? Just drawing grit from your surroundings?
And blasting them in the face, and then I'm going to attempt to grapple them after that and hold them down.
Ooh, okay. To clarify, are you targeting one of the guys who's already injured or one who has not been engaged yet?
No, yeah, it would be the person who attacked me.
Oh, I do want to clarify. The 2 that got their eardrums blown out, they technically qualify as bruised. I had forgotten the term. So they both got a -1 penalty. They are a little fucked up. Does an 18 beat?
No, DC is 23.
So you basically you sandblast this guy's face.
Yes, and then I get to follow up with a grab attack.
Okay.
So does a 10...
So he would make 1. So despite being sandblasted in the face, because he nat 20s, he just kind of wildly grabs your little teenage shoulders, is and throws you away from him. He's in panic strength mode, so the grapple does fail. Samantha Stanwyck, what's your tactics? You just had somebody swing a weapon at you. How you feel about that?
I'm gonna shoot them. Would these count as minions? Specifically because I have Takedown 2, which is free extra attack when you incapacitate a minion. So if I take one of them out, I would get an extra attack if they are minions.
I'm gonna call them minions. I want to make a correction. That sonic attack actually knocked those 2 out. They're completely incapacitated on the floor, bleeding out of the ears.
Oh, yay.
You're down to 4 baddies. And actually,
Wait, did I sandblast them?
You sandblasted, so despite the grapple failing, there are now 3 Axe Gang members left.
Is the one who attacked me, I would guess, is fairly close, right?
He's fairly close. He's in melee weapon range.
Well, I don't have a melee weapon, I have a gun. I have quick draw, so I can draw my gun as a reaction, and I'm just gonna try to shoot him.
Yeah, roll for bang bang.
So I'm imagining this hits because I rolled a 19.
Yeah. No, you.
The DC is 19 if you need that.
You pop this fool in the chest, and he staggers back and slumps against the wall right next to the door. The last 2 that are left, they're like, oh, fuck this, and they sprint off in opposite directions.
Because if I incapacitate a minion, I get a free attack. Can I try and just go after one of them still?
Oh, just like pop him in the leg?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I'm trying to remember that I'm playing a more morally gray character than normal.
Yeah, no, that is entirely fair.
Not as good, which makes sense. So I rolled a 14. My add is 12.
You hit him.
Yeah.
You put a bullet right in this guy's ass. Like, just right in the right butt cheek. And he screams and he falls to the ground. His weapon goes flying off and clatters against the wall. And he's just trying to crawl away.
Do you get to keep doing that then? Because you just downed another one?
Technically, yes. Is the other one still there?
The other one at this point is further down the tunnel. You'd have to, like, go after him and actually pursue him.
Okay, I'm just not gonna do that just because I'm like, that's a lot. Damn. One got away.
And he plans for the guy that you downed, the one that was trying to run away. He's still trying to crawl.
We could try and get some information out of him.
All of them are going in glass manacles. I'm, like, forming glass bands around all of their limbs. And, like, probably in a pretty uncomfortable position. But all 5 of them that are downed are getting done up like that. Because I'm assuming they're not all dead. They're just all not capable of fighting anymore.
Well, the one that got shot in the chest he's dead. Like, point blank in the chest, he's dead. But yeah, no, the ones that got their eardrums blown out are completely incapacitated. They can't even answer questions. Their eyes are rolling because their cochlears are all screwed up. You've got them all manacled up.
Do we want to try and ask that guy some questions?
Probably a good idea.
The guy is just grievously injured.
I did tell them they could leave now, but they didn't listen.
Exactly. Gun's still smoking and she's putting it away.
For clarity, I guess, unless you really intended to kill that one guy, I guess you just, like, I don't know, blew out his collarbone or something.
She just was trying to shoot him. He also was just trying to swing an axe at her.
These guys would need medical attention or they're going to be in a rough spot, but you're going to interrogate the one guy who wants to crack that walnut open.
Out of us, who does have the most in intimidation?
Mine is a 6.
I only have a 3 in Intimidate.
I have a -3, but I feel like I can get a circumstance bonus if I'm threatening people with, like, sharp glass objects near their eyes or other things.
Oh, cute kid. And you have, like, fucking, like, glass daggers. And they're like, scary kid, scary kid.
You know, actually, the answer here is timber.
Wow.
It must be the suit. Yo, wanna play good cop, bad cop?
Yeah.
Good cop, bad cop, unhinged cop.
I do have attractive, so I have a circumstance bonus because I'm pretty. I feel like the circumstance bonus for the fact I'm the one who shot him will not work with that.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
Unless he's really into that kind of thing.
They need medical attention, and you chased off the only doctor in the area.
I have treatment. I'll start treating the injuries while they're,
Oh, stabilizing them? Okay. You cannot fix these injuries. They would need, like, somebody with either healing powers or some really good medical attention.
I could, but I won't. I'll stabilize them.
Very noble of you. So yeah, how do you all want to do this, this interrogation thing?
I take the gun back out and I go up to the one, I guess the one I shot in the ass is the most stable.
Correct.
I go up, gun out. Why are you guys here?
He looks at you scared and furious and helpless. We got paid to kill you just like we got paid to kill that old man.
Who paid you?
I don't know. They give us cash and drugs. What do you want?
Information, clearly.
I don't know nothing. Some folks in masks show up, give us cash. We don't ask questions.
When did they come? In my head, we only came down here a couple days ago. When did they come and tell you about us?
They've been coming down here for months. It was about a week ago they told us to kill the old man. We didn't think it was going to be anything, old blind man. And he's shaking and he's looking back and forth between you. He's clearly in pain. Although you've probably, like, I don't know, stuffed paper towel into the hole in his butt cheek or whatever. Clearly, like, flying on adrenaline. In his glass manacles, just kind of sitting there shaking, looking at you all.
I could try and do intimidation.
Can I give you a circumstance bonus by, like, making the cuffs, like, start poking in and pressing into his skin?
Stanwyck, if you'd like to proceed.
Tell us what we need to know. Otherwise, more pain is coming your way.
His eyes are, like, deadlocked on these manacles, and he's shaking. It was the eagle. The eagle paid us.
Could I use expertise streetwise to see if I know who the eagle is?
Ooh, yes, you could.
Can I assist with underground streetwise?
Yes, actually, you could.
Yeah, that could have been better.
Not so good on my end.
15 total.
I only got a 9.
For you, Mr. Kevin Calloway, you haven't heard of any, like, in all your time, you're like, it's just confused. You're like, the Eagle. Like, I've never heard of anybody who goes by Eagle or the Eagle down here. That's, what the hell do you mean, the Eagle? It's nobody you've ever heard of, so it's just a blank. For you, though, Stanwyck, there was a case, and it just kind of tickles at the back of your mind. There was a case a long time ago. A triple homicide. The guy who was going to trial for the homicide actually turned state's evidence, said that an Okada employee by the name of Eagle had committed the murders, and that guy ended up dead in his cell.
Because you said a long time ago, would this be like when she was a cop?
You know what? Yes, actually.
I always thought it was sus they didn't investigate it more.
World information, what is Okada?
Okada is a incredibly powerful mega conglomerate. They're like Toyota Heavy Industries combined with Shinra. Remember the giant mega structure at the center of the underground? They own all of that, and that goes up into topside. That building penetrates the whole damn thing. They're fucking everybody.
They also do a lot with robotics.
That doesn't seem exploitative at all.
Mm-hmm.
We love monopolies.
That name sounds kind of familiar. I was before I was a PI, I was a cop, and I explained the whole thing. Let's get inside here before we get any more unexpected deliveries of people trying to kill us.
Should I put these ones anywhere? I start pointing at the people.
Leave them there. Somebody will come and get them eventually.
Okay.
And now I put the key in the door to open it.
You unlock the door, and there's a surprisingly smooth action of the key just spins in the lock. And this door opens on like a slight hiss. And this tunnel beyond is pitch black.
Everyone inside now so I can lock it up as soon as we get in.
Underground Records 1. Who Killed the Killer Bee?
Underground Records is a production of Masks and Mayhem and uses the game Mutants and Masterminds 3rd Edition by our friends at Green Ronin Publishing. Check the link in the show notes to get your own copy of the game. You can also help support us by making a one-time donation or becoming a monthly member through our Ko-fi page. That's ko-fi.com/mayhemcast. The episode was game mastered by Jordan and was produced by myself, R.C. Byler. Production assistance and the voice of Mosey was provided by Brandon Brownson. Our logo art is by Jenn Evans and our font is by Micah Eisen. The Underground Records theme was developed by Vladimir Barry, with production assistance and additional music done by our own Pope Brandon Brownson. Additional social media links, blog posts, and episodes can be found on our website at masksandmayhem.com.